Hello captains, welcome back to the next episode. My name is Adam and this is P3D version 4.3. Now, it's been a while since I've actually recorded a video because I've had a little bit of an issue. Past week, well the past like 3 days, I installed an Amsterdam software into my sim, forgetting completely that I'd already had Netherlands True Earth from Orbix installed. And when I installed this Amsterdam, it kind of messed up the Amsterdam from Netherlands scenery, and it was all just skew-whiffed. So, and I think it was for like an FSX release anyway, so I deleted the Amsterdam, but the Netherlands was screwed up. So I uninstalled the Netherlands, not knowing that the 72 gig file was being deleted off the hard drive, that I'd have to re-download that. And not only that, when you re-download Netherlands True Earth, you've got to have 3 times that space on your hard drive to download it, unpack it, and install it. So anyway, that's all back to normal. So fast forward 2 days later and I'm back to doing the videos now. So you probably won't notice any type of difference because the way I've released these videos, but for me it's been a few days since I've recorded a video. In that time, when I was trying to sort out the Netherlands scenery, I came across something that really took me by surprise. In front of me at the keyboard, I have a little notebook, and it just tells me where I'm flying for the videos, you know. And that accidentally hit onto the spacebar, and when the spacebar was being pressed, I was getting all sorts. Every time I pushed down on the mouse, the menu would like disappear. If I went like that and then down, because I had also the mouse yoke enabled, it was glitching out completely, and I was like, what's going on? And I accidentally hit views, and I accidentally hit full screen mode. As you can see, it's selected now, and suddenly my sim like disappeared. When the screen went black, and when it came back, it was in like ultra high definition, and I was like, whoa, this looks amazing now, what's going on? And it's because if you play your sim in its default windowed mode, you know, you're only windowed. And so if you've got a 4K monitor, it's not picking up that you're in a 4K resolution, especially if you've got your graphics card set to 3860, 3840, or whatever it is, the one below 4K. But when I put my graphics card up to 4K and hit full screen, suddenly my TV's UHD function kicked in and suddenly turned the sim into lifelike imagery. And suddenly all the scenery looks better, all the plane stuff looks better, everything just looked better. And I was just like, whoa, I cannot believe that I've been running my sim in such a low resolution state. And basically what I've been asking my computer to do is take a 4K image, because all my textures are 4K, everything I put in here is kind of like 4K. Basically take all this 4K imagery and downscale it to HD 1080p. So I'm asking my computer to work harder in order for my simulator to look worse. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's just mental. So basically I've stopped asking my computer to work as hard to make it look as rubbish, and I've now said just let it be 4K, and my TV loves it and I love it. And I've even tried to record in 4K, but unfortunately it's too jittery and jumpy, and it's not practical. So I'm kind of recording in 2K now. So from this video onwards, this is the first 4K video on YouTube for my channel. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking that 2K file and I'm editing it and upscaling it to 4K, like back up to 4K. From what the original image is. It is originally 4K, recorded as 2K, and then upscaled back again to 4K, and then that's what's being put on YouTube. So finally you'll be able to see what I see on my computer. So with all that said, we are in Milano, and Milano is pretty bare bones. The weather is very overcast. Tree City, everything is being done by Orbix, and Rex HD Airports is taking care of that airport in the background. My frames are pretty good. I've got all my settings up to max, so my autogen density slider goes right out to the far end, and well, that's okay, because if it can handle it at that frames, I'll take it. Which I get 25 to 35 frames, which means it can handle it, so I'm happy with that. So, with all that said, let's get into the aircraft, and maybe the frames will increase a little bit, or maybe not. They kind of still go all over the place. Right, well, let's take off. Let's see what this airport looks like, because I have Aerosoft's Milano Airport ready to be installed for prepared version 4.3. So let's see what we get. Now, looks like the lights here are hovering above the ground. I have Europe SimStar lights installed. I also have Orbex lights installed, and it looks like for some reason you get kind of funny elevations there. Might need to sort that out. It don't matter. It's not that much of a pain. So I like what I see. Everything looks very nice. I could do with having a slightly better frames, but it's smooth enough. If it's jittery in the video, it's only because I'm recording and flying at the same time, because it ain't jittery at all in the sim. So apologies for any jittery motion. Yeah, everything looks okay. Everything looks pretty nice here. It's a bare bones airport, I gotta say. It's just the basic of buildings here. You know, a couple of planes at the terminal, and that's it really. Air Italia down there, Lufthansa, whatever how you pronounce that. I'm very sorry for not pronouncing it correctly. EasyJet, as always. Still trying to figure out how I can get British Caledonian textures on my planes, and also how to get other types of planes like the DC-10, the DC-9, and old aircraft that you don't see flying anymore. I want that flying in my world. So so yeah, everything looks okay. So looking out here, Milano is being handled by Orbex, looking just normal really, just looking as good as Orbex can. Doing a good job, feeding me the visuals, got no complaints. Don't know what them white splotches are actually. That's a bit weird, like ghosts or something. Oh my gosh, it's alien invasion here on the highway. What is that? That is super weird. It's got to be something to do like runway lights for the airport or something. I don't know. Very strange. As you can see, when we have Rex HD Airports taken over, there is a very distinct line for the airport here. Not much can be done about it. That is Rex Airports HD, but you get these nice textures here for the airport. Let's do a flyover of the airport here and see what we can see. So Milano looks like it's got 2 runways here with a nice little parking lot in the middle, and like some sort of terminal with a few gates on that side. And we're gonna fly over here and see if it gets what it looks like. We'll do a flyby of the tower as always. It's a pretty big areaed airport. I'd say this is probably as big as DFW in Texas. So it's a very high traffic airport by the looks of it, or it can handle the high traffic. It's got a lot of terminals. Here we are. nicely rendered. It's just your basic Rex Airport HD at the moment, really. I'm just going to start saying Rex Airports. I'm not going to keep saying the HD add-on, because I think everybody knows it's high definition. You know, so Rex Airports, okay? Here comes the tower, requesting flyby. The pattern is full. Well, don't spill your coffee, dude. Yeah. Highway to the danger zone there. Okay, so this is Milano. And in part 2 of this video, it's going to transform into, well, Milano again, but it's going to be a better version of Milano. So, thanks. I'll see you in a moment, basically. Okay, welcome back to part 2 of the video now. And we are back in, apologies for the first half of this video where I was calling it Milano, but that was the name of the scenery. It's actually Milan we're in, and we are at the aeroporto of Milan. Lima, Indigo, Mike, Charlie. Yes. And things are looking fantastic, I must say. I think that's the cargo bay behind me there. I will swing around. We've got well, we've got that, and we've got the countryside, and you know, it's still an overcast day. So, oh, and there's the city over there. You know, looking very, very nice. So, let's hop into our plane, and you know, frames are a bit stuttery now. I can handle these frames. Apologies if you guys can't. The thing I would do to rectify this is just lower my auto gen draw distance, and then that would booster the frames. In fact, I'm going to do that now, just so I can show you guys. But it might take a while to load back in. So if it does, we'll pause and we'll come back again. So at the moment it's on extremely high, but I think maybe even just very high is all it takes. So we'll try that. If it doesn't, then we have to lower it again. But basically all it means is that all the buildings, all the trees, every bit of autogen scenery is loaded when it's on its max setting. It's loaded as far as the eye can see, and that can really take up your resources of your computer's performance for the sim, which will heavily reduce your frames. So one way to make still everything look as fantastic as it does is to lower this draw distance, and therefore you don't have to render as much in the sim. You could lower other sliders, right? So I could lower my autogen vegetation or my autogen buildings, but the problem with that is some sceneries are designed for them sliders to be at specific amounts for you to get the full experience. So why would you limit yourself? Okay, oh, you've got performance issues, fair enough, but you can still have them at max and just reduce your autogen draw distance. So you're having the max settings, but it's not as going as far out, which means it's going to be loading as you fly. So things might pop in, but at least you're seeing everything. The alternate is to not see everything and have it go out quite far. So therefore it doesn't have to load in, but you're restricting what you'll see. You might not see all the trees, you might not see all the buildings, you might not see all the special features of a particular airport add-on. And this is just what I've discovered through my testing, you know, my testing of the sliders. And one very weird thing I found, here we go, we loaded back in, is that I actually get better frames when things are set to max. My performance is a lot better. So it's like, see, right now I'm averaging 20 frames, whereas before it was 15. So just doing that has given me 5 frames. If I did it again, we'd probably get another, you know, 5. But this is good enough for the video. So And the main thing is I don't fly and record all the time. So, as you know, if I'm getting these types of frames on this, then I'm going to be getting good frames when I actually go flying for myself, and the performance will be there. So I'm not too bothered about it. Obviously, we do want a smooth performance, but at the end of the day, we just want to see what we got. So, what have we got? Milan, Aerosoft, what have you given us? Well, Aerosoft, in my experience, make very good scenery. They make very good airports, but they can be resource heavy. They can be taxing on your frames. So, but they do look fantastic. I have never got a problem. Let's take this bird to the air. I have never got a problem with Aerosoft's sceneries. As you can see, I mean, look at that. That is just so much better than the default of what we saw before. Now we're going to fly the exact same route, which was basically go out, turn around and fly low over the airport. And what I'm seeing already, ground markings, runway textures, the grass textures even, you know, are just a whole lot better. And another thing as well, when you get add-on airport like this, is the integration between this and the rest of the world is so much better. So as we saw it sort of not blending in so well with the rest of the world. So if we can see over here, we saw a very distinct line between the Rex airport line and the rest of the world, whereas now they've put trees along, they've integrated it so much more better. So let's do a little bit of a turn now before we head up into the thick fog of the cloud base, which seems to be descending very quickly. I think we flew out a little bit further, so let's just do fly out over here. So what are we seeing right now? I don't think we're seeing Milan Airport right now. I think we're seeing Orbex and the Europe land class and Global Base, stuff like that. I think that's what all this is. And Terraflora trees, and we seem to be going down. Let's get back up. I think that's what all this is. Frames have increased a little bit. I'm not a frame hunter, by the way, guys. I just want a smooth 25 frames per second experience. That's it. As long as I've got that, I'm a happy bunny, because I just want a smooth experience, you know. I think we can climb a little bit here. Them lights are back. Them freaky looking lights there. I don't know what they are, but they're back. So here we go. Now when we flew over with Rex Airport HD, the line here was so jarring. It looked very distinctively weird. Now it blends in so much better. We've got runway lighting. The buildings look a lot better. You know, and there's different variation of buildings as well, you know. It's not just like the same building and a couple of planes. We've perhaps got a few more planes as well. In fact, there's one about to take off that we're about to fly above. Excuse me, coming through. EasyJet there, about to roar it off down the runway. So buildings look a lot better. Well done, Captain, well done. Keep it going, boy. Buildings look a lot better. The terminals look... Let's have a look at the terminals. They look a lot better. There's planes. I don't know if there's more planes or if similar amount of planes. And the liveries, I'm not too sure if it's the same or... But these buildings here look fantastic. That texturing down there looks photoreal on the runway, or sorry, on the taxiway. There's a 747 there, so we've got some other like planes dotted around. Let's do a flyby of the tower. I think we need to climb a bit before we crash and burn. Just very nice airport, really. Um, I do enjoy Aerosoft's airports. The one hang up I have about them is that they're very resource heavy, and we're stalling here. So look at that tower. That tower is miles better than what the Rex airport does for us. Now, I'm not trying to poo-poo Rex airport here. Don't get me wrong. Um, Rex Airports does a great job for default airports around the world. Every default airport now becomes, the textures become high definition, and you can get a good looking airport, but they all kind of do look very similar. There's nothing unique about them, which means the integration between the airport and the rest of the world may not be as great as it could be when you have a specialized third-party add-on, such as this one. I mean, look at that runway texture there. That runway texture is phenomenally accurate, lovely, realistically. I don't think we're gonna be able to land this, are we? We're gonna try and land on the taxiway. Why not? Let's go for it. Let's land on the taxiway. Slow this sucker right down. Don't know what that building is there, but I mean, look, it's just I really enjoy Aerosoft. I've still got some Dream Team airports that I've got to install, and I think they're going to be the next few videos we do. And I've got UK 2000 airports to put on the map as well, which I haven't done any of them yet. I'm just doing sort of all the Aerosoft ones first, and then all the we're gonna crash this thing. This is gonna be a bit of a bumpy landing. All the Aerosoft airports, then all the Dream Team airports, and then all the UK 2000. And I think I've got some Flight Beam and Flight Tampa airports as well. But what I'm doing is all the developers at once, because if I have a problem with one, I'm probably gonna have a problem with all of that type. So rather than jump around and just have problem after problem, I can troubleshoot and get it sorted. So there we go. That is Milan. Very good, very nice. As always, if there is anywhere you want me to fly from any of these airports you see me installing, or any of the sceneries that you see in the description below, then just put a comment in the comment section. I will make a special video and a shout out to you, and I will fly that in the C152. Currently C152, C172 is all I've got installed yet. There goes the hydraulics that were never installed. So that's what I've got installed. So this has like a 2-hour flight time on it. So any sort of mission or flight that you want me to take has got to be less than 2 hours. So with saying that, thank you very much for watching and hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. I very much appreciate it, and I shall see you in the next video, where we will probably be at an airport somewhere in America. Keep it flying, guys. Take care. Bye bye.